back to Gray Magnolias. I'm gonna do kind of like a reading knitting vlog with like just kind of clips throughout the day. I'm currently finishing my second read through of The Others by Anne Bishop. I'll put in the description down below my first video. I think I'm gonna have to do it again. So I'm like reading it for the second time. I just told my husband last night, I think this is like my favorite series ever, and I've read a lot, let me tell you. I've read a lot of series, I've read a lot of books. I can tell you some favorite books, but this series, I'm still getting goosebumps. I'm still like tearing up, crying, and just kind of like on the edge of my seat, even though I know what's gonna happen, which I've mentioned in a lot of my previous videos. I am not a rereader at all. I've slowly become, but only I've used it to like just kind of get out of my book slumps, or just kind of seeing like if I love the book as much as I did the first time. So I'm on book 4. It's a 5-book series for the first part, and then there's 3 books after what happens in the last book in different parts of the world at the time. It is so good. I'm not, if you've seen any of my other like review videos, they're like not the best. I'm just kind of rambling off like my head, my emotions and all that stuff, but I really want to like sit down and talk about just like how good this book is, the elements of it, the world building, the characters. Like, it's so good. Like, you feel like you're right there with like the tensions, what's happening, the world. It's just such a fascinating concept. So it's like a paranormal urban fantasy. There is romance, but it is like subplot number Z, letter Z, oh my god, letter Z. I think I mentioned that in my first video talking about The Others. Oh my god, but it's still so good, and it's so kind of like, it just gets you thinking, and it just gets you feeling, and it's just amazing. I just can't shut up about it. So I am listening to Marked in Flesh, which is book 4. Yesterday I finished Vision in Silver, and I was like tearing up. I had goosebumps. It was just like a lot. It's just so good. So I have a cup of tea. I'm heating up a muffin. I'm gonna go sit on the couch and get to knitting. I'm working on several projects, but I'm so close to separating for the sleeves on a fingering weight cardigan. So I kind of want to get through my last round repeat, so hopefully I can do that either at the end of the day today or tomorrow for sure. of a reading update in general. The reason I haven't put any more walking vlogs is because there's been a very serious heat advisory where I live, and I just can't manage to get up early enough to get out the door. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I do miss it, but like it's, where I live, it's like a lot of humidity. So while it might say 71 with the humidity and dew point and everything, it's like 86, almost like 90 degrees. You walk out and you're walking through the thickest wall of just air, and it just brings you down. Like, it's not good. But I did finish the Great Library series by Rachel Kane, which that's what I was reading in those 2 walking vlogs. And I was disappointed. And it almost put me into a reading slump. Like, it was conclusive, but it was just so quick and so different from all of the other books that I read. I'm gonna try to prop you up. I don't know, I don't want to get my little tripod thing. I'll put you right there. It was just like action, 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 resolution, run to the next spot, action, 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 resolution, run to the next spot. I don't know, like it was just kind of, it wasn't even like anticlimactic. I was just kind of like sitting there the whole time listening, and I'm like, okay, like it was just so different. It was so different. But I mean, it ended with a nice little bow. I don't know if like maybe she was just kind of like over it, and I feel like there's a couple things that weren't answered. I mean, sometimes when I listen to like audiobooks, I do maybe miss some things, I do have to say. But overall, like the whole series, I give like a 4.5, because it's just, the concept is so cool, the characters were really good, the like twists and turns, and I mean, it was like predictable twists and turns, like if you really like paid attention, but it was really good. But like the last book, I'd honestly give it a 2, because it just felt so structurally different. I mean, like, it was kind of like a revolution, right? And after there's a revolution, there needs to be things in place to kind of bring things back in order. And it was just, I don't know, it was just too fast for me, for what I guess I wanted. Again, it was conclusive. Everyone had its own version, like everyone had their happy ending. So yeah, it was good. I did finally pick up Olivia Atwater, Half a Soul, and that was really good. I really liked that whole concept. It's like historical romance, but like think fantasy, magic. There's wizards, there's sorcerers, there's fae that are evil. It really gave me Howl's Moving Castle. So our main character, Theodora, her mother makes a bargain with a fae lord, and pretty much like your firstborn child type of thing. So he comes to collect. Theodora is like young, like 7, but or not, maybe she's like older, maybe she's like 10. And then her cousin, with a pair of scissors, like she sees like this string, she cuts it so that Elven Lord takes half her soul, and she's left with the other half of her soul, and it's more of like half of her emotions, and she's kept with like the dull unfeeling emotions. Like she doesn't really cry or react or get scared in certain ways. And, they get older. Her cousin's coming out for her season, and they go to London. It's also, so it's like a mix of like House Moving Castle, Cinderella ish, evil stepmother vibes. It was really good. I really liked it. I want to read the other three. I don't think you need to read them in order because they follow different characters, maybe characters we've met. But I did read book one, and I plan to read the other three. I really like her writing style, and it was romance, but it was very, very sweet, closed door, nothing like crazy like that. So that was really good. I also, um, what else did I? Oh, I put out a YouTube short about it, but I finally finished and read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. In all my years, I've never read it. I never read it for school. If they make you read it for school, I've never read it on my own. I've never watched the movie with Keira Knightley. I've seen all the clips, and I've seen enough clips. Maybe I've seen the whole movie unintentionally. But yeah, I finally read it, and I did try reading it. I don't know if it was, I think it was like a last year thing. And I don't know, like when you read historical romance or historical fiction, and it's like set in England, like, and it's pretty, either it's an older text like Jane Austen, or just in general, like for me mentally, I have to get in that verbal headspace of the language dynamic, the how they speak, pretty much. I have to like to understand, because sometimes I've read some where it's very authentic, so to speak, and it's just like, whoa, 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 slow down a second. What did you say? So, and I think I was listening to, my reading speed was like really fast. I've slowed down to 1.4, and I'm really enjoying that. If I do feel like, okay, it feels a little bit too slow, because sometimes narrators just are slow. I bump it up to 1.6, but I try not to go over that anymore. So I'm like listening, and it's not just like this buzzing thing in my ear, you know? So I listen to a lot slower. I would tandem read at times, but I mainly listen to it on audiobook, and it was not at all what I expected. Um, yes, it was very different. It's hardly, in my opinion, it's hardly romantic. But again, Jane Austen didn't necessarily write like romance like that. She wrote more of like what society was like, the different dynamics and how people reacted to different situations and all that stuff. Um, I don't think these are, my opinions are off, but Mrs. Bennet is a bitch. She was like the worst. A little triggering, I do have to say at times. She was the worst. Mr. Bennet was the best in regards to the parents. Um, I really liked Elizabeth, her older sister. I forget her name right now. Lydia, oh my god, insufferable. Um, and Darcy, I don't feel like he was in the book enough to make a lasting impression like that. His the letter was gave like almost like a full insight to him, which was really good. Um, I just find it really interesting how they pretty much fell in love at a distance, while he fell like really hard, really fast, almost from a distance as well. And cousin Colin, oh my god, like he's a toad. Horrible. I do plan on maybe making a more in-depth sit-down video, because I am planning, I found three adaptations of Jane Austen from different, for Pride and Prejudice, from different perspectives. I put that in my short. One that I thrifted was Mr. Darcy, so it's his perspective only from Pride and Prejudice, like that timeline. I'll put a picture and I'll just put the name and title here. The name, the author, I mean. And then the Bad Miss Bennet, which is Lydia's story, but this is taking place after she left and did what she did, which was insane. Especially like knowing how old that she was. But again, that was just the norm back then, unfortunately. So I picked that up, which I will be interested to see if she has any redeeming qualities and stuff like that. But she was like very selfish, self-centered, just, I don't know, really full of herself, narcissist maybe. So it'll be very interesting to see if she has any redeeming qualities. And then I also picked up the other Bennet sister, which follows Mary's story. It just got a TV adaptation that's kind of like blowing up on Instagram. I've seen so many like clips. I'll try to watch that at some point, but she's hardly mentioned in Pride and Prejudice. Well, I mean, you know that she's like quiet and wants her books, and she wants like nothing to do with anything that's going on while Mrs. Bennet is trying to marry off all her kids. So yeah, I read that finally. What would I rate it? I'd rate it a 3.5, like out of 5. It was good. It was a good time. It was entertaining. It was interesting. But I think people maybe like the movie more than the book itself. I could be wrong. I'll have to watch a movie, but I think they make the movie more romantic, at least from all the clips that I've seen, than what the book really portrayed. Because, you know, yeah, they fall in love, but they're hardly around each other, you know. So I read that. I don't have my other book anywhere close to me. I am trying to read this other book. It's really good, but again, I think I mentioned in my last video I just posted about what's in my bag. It's called the Invisible Library. It's like Doctor Who-ish, but like a librarian, and they like there's different timeline. No, that's not different timelines. There's different versions of different cities, of like different versions of London, and the librarian's job is to find these texts to collect them from stopping them to do something in history. Like the story opens up and she is disguised as a janitor at a boarding school for wizards, and there is a necromancer spell book that she's trying to get that later in history did a lot of damage, type of thing. So it's several books, and I have a good amount of them, and it's not that long. It's not that long of a book, but I am struggling a little bit to get through it, and it's not like I want to stop reading it. So but yeah, so I am making, I'll show a little bit what I'm making. I'll put here, it's a petite confit. I think it's a French pattern, and it's a free pattern on YouTube, so I'll link it down below. She does a really good job describing it, and like terminology from English to French is not too far off for knitting. And she does have it subtitled, but you just kind of have to like pause and like write down what you need to do for your size. And it's in fingering weight. It's in this yarn that I have an abundance of. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have like leftover. Maybe I'll make like a little top or something. But yeah, I've have cardigans, but I've never made a fingering weight cardigan, and it's just kind of like mindless, and it's just stockinette. Nothing too crazy, but I'm pretty close to binding off, or like not binding off, separating for the sleeves. And then it's just the body back and forth for a while, then ribbing, and then sleeves. So I'm pretty far off, but I think it'll be great to like throw on at work. It's not going to be too heavy or too thin or too like bulky and stuff like that. It's like something flying around over here. But where am I working? Here we go. And then yeah, so my reread of the others has been so freaking good. I really need to sit down and just like collect my thoughts and just like spread the word the best way that I can, because it's just so good. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave you here. So I've been reading. Oh my god, there's like something freaking flying around in here. It's that time of year. I can't stand it, but it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave you here. I hope you enjoyed. I am, yep, still reading a lot. I've been kind of like also not feeling a lot of things, but in reading the others, just kind of just sparking that excitement again of just, oh, I want something similar to this or X, Y, and Z. But yeah, I hope you're reading something amazing and you're making something beautiful, and I'll see you in the next one.